Aegyo is bad because it's literally just a grown adult acting like a child, trying to act all cute. And it just ends up being really weird, causing situations like these ones behind me. But at least in these videos, all of the members of the groups acted like it was weird. Like in the 80s one, everybody got up and acted like it was weird. And in the Stray Kids one, Han got pushed over. But these Aegyo clips get even worse when there's nobody to stop you. Or when you decide to act like an animal. Fine, I'm done showing you examples for now, but if you found that cringe, then congratulations, because you are normal. You're a normal human being that finds cringe things cringe. You find grown adults acting like babies to be weird, and you know what? That's great. Because there are some people who think this is normal. In fact, they defend Aegyo, calling it cute. Or they give their biases and favorite idols as exceptions to Aegyo being weird. But I do have to imagine that all of these comments that I found were just children spewing BS on the internet like they do. Anyways, that was the first hot take. Hopefully it wasn't actually hot, because how the hell are you going to disagree with that? But we are going over hot takes which progressively get hotter according to me. Because I sorted all of these out. Drop yours in the comments below and maybe I'll make a part 2. But let's move on to the next one, getting rid of fan calls, because I'm pretty sure they were supposed to be a pandemic thing, right? Like, we only got fan calls because fan signs couldn't be done because of the pandemic. But for some reason we're keeping them? Question mark. Now before I say my piece on this, I just want to say that there are some cool interactions that happen on fan calls. Like this one with the duck, which I really like.
Hi Felix, I'm Pullman. Can you move his body around? I heard that their heads like stay still. Oh my god, that's so good. That's so good. That's so good.
But mainly it's just cringe. It's just like parasocial fans thinking that idols owe them something when in reality they don't. Like the one that happened recently with Yunjin from the Seraphim. You know, the fan got on the call and was like, I spent so much money on you. I'm gonna stand Kazuha instead because you don't pay enough attention to me. Luckily, Yunjin seemed like she didn't care, but either way, that's just a bad thing to say. What's the point of like saying something if you're just gonna say something mean, you know? I guess I do kind of understand it though, like a really little bit. From the fans' perspective, she bought all of these albums, she bought all of the photo cards and whatever. Just for a chance to get attention from an idol that she likes, and she didn't. Is that a reason to go spew like mean comments to her? No, of course not. Obviously it was completely messed up what she did, but that got me thinking, what are you supposed to do on a fan call anyway? Like maybe it's just the inner introvert in me talking, but I can't think of what I would like to do if I got on a fan call with some of my favorite idols. Hi, thank you so much for being a fan of my music. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of your music. So, and of course there are some more iconic ones like the Vernon fan call.
Put your hands in the air and come to kiss me.
Oh, and don't forget the other Vernon fan call.
Hi, Daddy.
Hell no, man. What the fuck?
Poor guy goes through it every single time, it seems like. Oh, and don't forget the Felix one where the fan gets him to act like a kitten. I wish I was joking.
Can you come closer to the camera? Yeah. Please show me your paws.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, it's me from the future. If you're enjoying the video, drop a sub, drop a like, and enjoy the rest of the video. Thank you so much. Okay, the next one that we've got is multiple versions of songs are useless. I don't see a point of having 50 remixes for one song. And I'm mainly talking about the remixes which seem pretty low effort. Like they just rearrange the vocals a little bit, change the instrumental with like a filter or something and just release it as a new track. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about remixes where you add a feature like on Strategy or you remove a feature like on 3D. And the best example I can think of for this is Le Seraphim. Source Music goes insano style with remixes. I mean, I found this playlist with every single Le Seraphim remix and it's 38 songs. Yeah, so I recorded this before Pure Flow came out and before Celebration and Boombala got their remixes. And it turns out this playlist isn't even correct. It kind of missed a couple because the total went from 38 to 46, so it added 8 more. But it turns out there were actually 11 remixes of Boombala, 5 in this EP and 6 in this one. So yeah, it's kind of proving my point of how they just pile on these remixes like crazy. Anyways, wanted to clear that up. Toodles. And 18 of those remixes are just versions of Crazy. Now there are some which are kind of cool, like the English version, I guess that makes sense. The version with Pink Pantheress and David Guetta, that also makes sense. But there's some here that just don't make any sense at all. The Bounce Up remix, the Dance remix, Super Crazy remix. What does that even mean? Of course, there are a bunch of different groups and different companies that do this. Like BTS, they have like what, 8 versions of Swim, 1 for each member, and like the instrumental, something like that. Enhypen also does it with the Sin Vanish. They went like crazy with that. Like on Spotify, it shows up as 11 different versions of the Sin Vanish when there's hardly any differences between the albums anyway. It's just that Knife gets a different remix in each of them. So I don't know why they released them as different albums for each member, but you know, that's on Belift. They decided to do that. I have no fucking clue why. Alright, next up, this is an interesting one because I haven't seen many people talk about this, but YouTube reactors. So people that like their whole channel is reacting to K-pop or new songs or new music videos, stuff like that. They don't give their actual opinions. They just either hype everything up or only hype up their favorites, which either way is, you know, pretty bad, because what's the point of reacting to a song if you're just gonna sit there and be like, wow, that sounds great. Wow, I like the visuals. You know, just like giving these like cheap one-liners. And even if they're listening to the most BS shit, they'd be like this. Yo, what is going on YouTube? Today we're going to be reacting to Sticker by NCT 127. Let's get into it. Oh, the flute, it's so awesome. By the way, subscribe to my Patreon where you can see me do exactly what I'm doing, except you need to pay to see it. And the reason they all have Patreons is because this sort of low effort reaction gets copyrighted. I mean, you play any music for more than like 5 seconds and that entire video loses all monetization and it goes to the original song creators. So having a Patreon means they can pay the bills while watching music videos all day, saying that YouTube is their job. Oh no, even worse, K-pop hater reacts to K-pop for the first time. There's so many of these videos on my homepage recently. It's getting like bad out here.
Okay, this is the first song. 17. I don't know how to pronounce that, but let's get right into it. I don't know what to expect at all. I'm excited.
Yeah, okay, I've got quite a lot to say. First of all, 17. That's an English word. That's a number, 17. So I don't know why he was confused about that. Next, he's already vibing with the song. You can't be a hater and like start vibing before the song even kicks in. So I'm just gonna assume this is satire and move on with my day, because most of these guys don't really do anything that does any actual harm. You know, they have the name of a popular artist in their title and they use that to get more views, get more people to click on it, more people would engage with it as well, especially if, let's say I'm reacting to a freaking Cortis song. You know, Cortis fans are gonna hop in the comments and be like, wow, I'm glad you liked it, or wow, this is a great song, something like that. And that boosts it in the algorithm, and you know, it just kind of feels like they're leeching off of popular artists and their like name and their fame and whatnot. Like I said, they're not doing any damage, except for that one disgusting freaked out guy. Out of all songs, this nigga wants to be doing that to Queen Card. Out of all songs, Queen Card by Idol. Are we serious? Come on, what's wrong with him? And you see the way he's looking around at his homeboys for validation? Shut the fuck up. What is wrong? Like, alright, moving on. Let's move on to dating, because people don't like it when idols date, even if they're not actually dating and people decided to ship them off of baseless accusations. But before I get onto the shipping and the baseless accusations, I want to talk about dating itself. You know, because I don't understand why it gets hated on. I don't understand why mainly the woman gets hated on for being in a relationship with another idol. If anything, it would be a good thing, because you know, 2 idols dating each other, they could relate to a lot of things because they're in very similar situations, both being in the music business, both you know. But fans make it weird, leading to really awkward interactions like these ones.
님, 저희 마음이에요.
Nope.
감사합니다.
But like I said before, there are a lot of fans that just make up rumors and then decide to hate on an idol for those rumors. Like, You make something up and then you get mad about that thing that you made up existing. The first thing I can think of is those videos where like it's edited to make it look like the idols like each other. I couldn't find an original one, so I found this TikTok instead. Yeah, that's exactly how they go. Like they're dead ass focusing on the most fucking minute details on like the idol's body language, on what they're looking at, on how they're talking, and then be like, oh, they're so in love. Look, they looked at each other for 0.03 seconds. Like, come on, can we get a grip, please? Like when I was making my BTS video, which you can check out after this video, I saw a lot of things about BTS members dating a lot of other idols, mainly Blackpink, but a lot of different idols.
Like all the articles, all the comments, anything happens, this is the interview we go back to. How addicted to how sad of a reality is that?
And it is always the woman that has to face some sort of backlash for, you know, dating someone else, even if there is no actual dating and even if it's just a rumor made up by the community. And then we move on to the shipping, which is its own entire issue.
Please give me boyfriend, 남친 주세요. Please give me husband, 남편 주세요.
Yeah, I'm not going to play the entire video. It's just Blackpink and BTS getting shipped together. But I guess I kind of understand why it's them out of every group like ever. But it's still weird and it still shouldn't be done. Okay, moving on. A fandom should not change what you think of a group. Because every fandom has a good side and a bad side. A side which is really supportive and really positive and really nice to other fandoms as well. And then the other side, which is really parasocial, you know, they're always starting fan wars. They're always talking about how like their idols are like their best friends or like how they're gonna get married to them or something. And they're not joking about it. They're like dead serious. Like while I was making this video, I got a bit of doom scrolling in and I found this aespa video with Iroha, right, from Islet. And there's a comment saying free New Jeans. I mean, come on. Like New Jeans is my favorite group of all time. Nothing's gonna change that. But like this is mad annoying to see from a fandom which is supposed to be like from my group. But this idea of a fandom ruining something for you transcends K-pop. Even with things like anime and like TV shows, there are fandoms that completely ruin things for people to get into. You know, it happens in anime with like power scalers and people that ship characters together, or even in like Western music with like Kendrick Lamar fans and Drake fans. Like Drake released his new album Iceman and people are dropping ice cube emojis under Kendrick's post on Instagram. Like I've seen so many comments of people being like, I tried to get into a group but I couldn't because the fandom was so terrible. And I guess I understand wanting to interact with people who are also like the group that you're into, but there's no way you're letting part of a fandom get to you.
You don't have to engage with it then. You can still watch the show and ignore that. What's stopping you from watching Invincible? If you want to watch My Hero Academia, what is stopping you from watching that? Just ignore that weird fucking side of the fandom. I hate that side of the fandom as much as you do. You don't have to watch it.
Like we all know that there are some fandoms which are just like filled to the brim with bad and toxic people. Like Blinks, Army, Bunnies, Stays. Like obviously it's not all of them. It's not the entire fandom. It's never the entire fandom. It's just the loud minority. It's like the people that are most active in comment sections and Twitter, but it's like 10% of the entire fandom. And then there's the other kind of fan who's like, oh, you think you're a fan of my group? Name 5 songs. Name all of their songs. Name every single member's birth names and all of their MTBIs because I know it, because I'm a real fan. You know, they scare away newer fans by asking them all these questions and trying to show that they're not a real fan. But the trick is to just not engage with any of this stuff. Just stay in your own like side of the internet and just listen to the music. You know, if you like the music, you like it. If you don't like the music, you don't like it. Okay, next up, we've got one which might be considered a little bit hot. Like most of the ones we've gone through so far aren't that hot, but this one might ruffle a bit of feathers. Lip syncing is okay sometimes. Let me explain that one. If a group is lip syncing every single show that they have, then it's a problem. You know, if they're lip syncing a bunch, then it's an issue. And like if they're not even like trying to perform or anything, then that's also an issue. Now obviously Nayeon doesn't do this all the time, but imagine if she did, because that's exactly what I'm talking about. And I do understand that asking for live vocals every single performance is a bit of a big ask, considering there are groups that are going on world tours with shows every other day. I mean, Twice looks exhausted because they don't have a break in their world tour like at all. So, you know, lip syncing sometimes to, you know, reduce strain or to, you know, just take a break is fine. Meaning videos like this are complete BS because it's just such a non-issue. The only time I think it's really important to be singing live is concerts, which are specifically for like one group, because people are paying money to see like that one group perform. So if they're lip syncing the entire time, then we've kind of got an issue. But at a big event like, I don't know, the Grammys or Coachella, you know, places like that, lip syncing should be allowed because people aren't there to hear like talented artists. They're just there to catch a vibe, you know?
Just me, myself, my best friend. That's right, I like it. I keep coming back. Coachella, don't need nobody trying to tell me how to run it. Found myself somebody's.
And yeah, see, that's what happens when we don't allow lip syncing. You know, they get on stage and they throw up a bunch of BS and it sounds like that. Just as long as it's not every single show that's lip synced, then it's not that much of a problem, especially since most of the time I'm sure there's a reason for artists lip syncing. But it's fine because we already know that they're talented enough to make good music, because if you're listening to their music, you already think they're good artists. Next up, we've got people caring too much about streaming numbers. And this one's super easy to see basically everywhere. I mean, there's those playlists where it's like boosting some songs, or it's like focusing on some songs for like 70 hours or 80 hours or something like that, where it's just the same song on repeat like 100 times with other songs by the same artist in between them. So, you know, you turn on the playlist, you let it just run its course, and you like leave it to stream like you're getting paid or something. Like this is a fucking job for you. Like I even saw a guide on how to stream in the most effective way possible. The key is to act like a human, not a robot. Step 1, log in to any one of your streaming accounts. Step 2, search for BTS's artist page or a title song focused playlist. Step 3, play or shuffle the playlist. Step 4, interact with the streaming platform now and again, liking a song, skipping a song, changing the playlists. Important, do not loop. We know BTS's music is amazing, but looping the same song/playlist will not help the streams count. If creating your own playlists, put 3 to 4 songs between the same song. Okay, I got this off of usbtsarmy.com, which is a real fucking website. Look, I hate to be that guy to generalize a fandom, but what the fuck? Like, I understand hyping your faves, but like, you can do a lot more than faking streams for them and pretending like thousands or hundreds of thousands of people are listening to their songs when it's just like a couple hundred people. Like, you could go out there and do one of their dances. You can cover one of their songs and upload it so more people can, you know, hear it and see it and interact with the song, instead of, you know, pretending like millions of people are streaming it. Another thing which is kind of similar is people putting a lot of importance on if a song charted or not, which I find completely stupid. I mean, charting is nothing more than a popularity contest. It doesn't measure how good a song is because music is subjective. Different people like different things, and that's how it's always going to be. The charts can't tell you what's the best and what's the worst. They can only tell you what's getting the most attention, what's being streamed the most, what's getting the most album sales, things of that nature. It's like when anyone said anything bad about Arirang when it came out, people would throw up those stickers of like BTS laughing and showing that like BTS is charting, even though they only measure songs based off of like streaming numbers on like a bunch of different platforms, whether they're on these like special playlists, like, you know, these ones that pop up on your homepage on Spotify sometimes, because these are made by Spotify themselves. So if there's a song on here, it's probably pretty popular. So all of these metrics are taken into account, and I'm gonna be honest, they can be altered pretty easily, you know, using the methods that I went over before. Okay, the last one is that people don't actually care about apologies after a controversy. They just like the idea of a controversy because it means they can hate on a group that they've always sort of disliked the entire time. So whenever there's a huge controversy with a group, whether it's something as small as eating a fucking strawberry or saying the N-word, which is a pretty popular one, but not moving on from an apology and just hating on a group or using that incident as fuel for hating a group is just kind of weird in my eyes. Then again, I've never really understood just hating on a group for the sake of hating. Like, just at that point, if you're that mad, just separate the art from the artist. But anyways, that's gonna wrap up the video. Drop your hot takes in the comments. I do want to make a part 2 with actual hot takes, because there was so many that I had, but I thought they'd be like a bit too out of pocket. So I wanted to test the waters, and yeah, I got a new camera. I don't know if this is any better. I'm just using my phone. It's not a fucking camera. I'm using my phone. But the video's over. Like, comment, subscribe. Fuck. Bye.